29th of December, Rabbi Levitt, Gemora.
All right. So okay, so very good. So we actually completed a section of this Gemara here, and we're going to start without further ado by the Amrei Hassam Amana. Where is that? It's right before the a couple lines before the Mishnah, on the bottom of the Amud.
So I'm 103A2, right-hand column, second paragraph.
Okay, so we call upon Alan. Is Alan here? Alan didn't read in last year. Are you available for reading, Alan? Oh, okay. So in the meantime, okay, maybe we'll go to Lou to start off the reading.
Sorry, where is it?
Oh, here comes Alan.
Is it 103A2?
Yeah, I found it, right?
Right-hand column, second paragraph. Having refuted.
Oh, I was looking at the left hand.
Right. So what we're the Gemara is now going to come about this this episode with the Rav Kahana and the kitna that he bought from a different perspective, especially in light of what Rav told him, that it depends on whether the seller to the second buyers told him that he's selling to them the kitna of Kahana or not. So we're trying to understand how that works. So without further ado, I see that Alan is here. So we're going to call upon Alan to start off the reading for us, please.
Having refuted the original understanding of the incident, the Gemara offers another approach, according to which Rav's ruling is unrelated to the dispute between Rav Shmuel bar Sasraki and the sages of the West. Amrei, they say, Chasam Mones Kavai. There it was an arrangement of trust. For example, Rav Kahana advanced the seller money for future flax. Below Mishchei, Rav Kahana Levitt Nor, but Rav Kahana did not perform meschicha on the flax. Rav Tamei and Rav, who prohibited Rav Kahana to accept the profit from the sale unless the seller had notified the buyer that the flax was consigned to Rav Kahana, followed his own reasoning expressed elsewhere. The Omar Rav said, Osin or Mornor Beferos, one may make an arrangement of trust for future delivery of produce. Ve'ain Osin Mornor Bedomi, but one may not make an arrangement of trust for repayment of the future cash value of the produce.
Okay, so here's an important point that the Gemara is changing from what we thought originally. We thought originally that Rav Kahana was buying this kitna, he gave money to the seller for it. It would seem like that's what he wanted to do, but for some reason, which we were not told, he left the kitna with the buyer. But we thought that he had performed a kinyan mashicha. He performed a formal act of acquisition to acquire the kitna. That's what we were assuming, even though he didn't take it home with him. Now, you know what the kinyan mashicha is, one of the kinyanim in order to acquire a movable item such as this kitna. Like when you go to the Makolet, you buy things over there. Really, the money that you're giving is that's the terms of the agreement, that you got to give money to pay for the tomatoes. But really, until you do a kinyan mashicha on the tomatoes, you haven't actually acquired the tomatoes. Now, kinyan mashicha comes from the word Moshe limshoch, to draw the thing towards you. That's a kinyan mashicha. So you're drawing, you're basically taking the tomatoes off of the counter over there, and you're intending to, with that, to acquire them. That's the kinyan mashicha. So the Gemora over here says that the base medrash, they said that what went on here with this Maisa with Rev Kahana was that it was an amana. It was some type of a agreement of trust. We'll explain what this means. Hopefully, Rashi will give us a little bit more of a hint. Maybe we'll have to look at the Gemara over there in Bava Metzia that talks about it. But in the meantime, that's the way we're explaining what it is. It's an agreement based upon trust. V'lo mashche Rav Kahana lekitna. But Rav Kahana never actually made a formal kinyan mashicha, so he never really did own the kitna. Even though he did give money, he did give money. So let's see if do we have any Rashi? Oh, we have a nice juicy Rashi over here. Amana habe. It was an amana, meaning it wasn't a straight sale of the kitna to Rav Kahana that took place right there and then. Let's see what Rashi says over here.
It was a trustful thing. Shinatan lehem ma'ot ba'alm, because he gave him money. Lo hayal lehem pishtan, and he really didn't have any flax then. Kishiki b'lau damin, when he received the money, he didn't. It was only money at that time, because he didn't have any flax when he received the money. Its value. I mean, it's the value of it. Yeah, the Chatanu Imo, and he made a condition with him. Kishar Hazoliton, at the cheaper rate he would give it to him, low to him. Call Hashana Bishar Zeh. All the difference in the rate of this rate, the Tanan that was taught, the Bava Metzia, Daf on the base of Daf Ayin Bet on the base, Yotze Hashah, it goes out of the rate post scheme. They made a ruling off Manas only on the condition she'ein lezeh yesh lezeh, because if it isn't with this, he doesn't have this, he does have the other thing instead. So in a sense, it's saying he hasn't got the pishtan, but he's got money, so you can somehow substitute the money for the pishtan.
Okay, so over here, Rashi says something else over here. Amana Havation, Nosen Lehem Mos Ba'amana. He gave him the money Ba'amana. some type of a trust or a reliance. V'lo haya lehem pishtim k'shekibu dami. At the time that he gave Rav Kahana the money, the seller didn't have any pishtim to sell him. But so what was the deal all about? It was a deal of giving over the money based upon reliance and trust. What was the deal? The hisna imo, he made a agreement with him that in a condition stipulation kashar hazol, that according to the low price, the inexpensive price, kol hashana, to give to Rav Kahana for the entire year. B'shar zeh, at that cheap price. Okay, so they made Rav Kahana money up front, and he sealed the deal that the seller is going to sell him kitna for the year, over the course of the year. I guess whenever Rav Kahana wants to come and buy kitna, I guess, and that the price would not be the price that is going out in the shuk at that time that he buys it, but it'll be for this lower price that they agreed upon at the outset, according to the Sharazol. So that's the agreement that happened over here. And then Rashi brings this Gemora in Bava Metzia, Yotza Shar, Poskin Afu Pishein Lezel Yesh Lezel. I'm not sure, we'd have to take a look at that Gemora, what exactly that is referring to over there. Not so clear just from the words that Rashi tells us. But let's see, maybe we'll I think Rashi told us enough in order for us to go to the next step over here. And now, so that's what they said in the base medrash. That was the deal over here. And now, the Gemara turns to Rav, and if you want to explain why Rav paskined what he paskined for Rav Kahana, that it depends on whether the seller told him of the identity of Rav Kahana, that this is Pishtan de Kahana, that it's a Kitna de Kahana. Rav, in saying what he said, he goes according to the reasoning that we know that he said in a different case. And the Gemara brings that case, also Gemara in Bava Metzia, different place, that Rav osin amona b'peros ve'ein osin amona b'damim. He would do an arrangement of amona, his trust agreement, putting money down and sealing down a price for a future sale for peros, but not for damim, probably because of a ribis problem, not for money. Okay, any Rashi on that part? Yeah, we got a couple lines of Rashi over there.
What?
It says, V'rav.
Rav, it's one line of Rashi.
Then there's another one, the time.
Sure, that is the usher that it made forbidden to him, the mishkal zohi for this collection.
Yeah, so Rav, who in that case with Rav Kahana, he forbade him to take the money in the if the scenario was that the seller did not tell the buyer that this is Kitna de Kahana. In that event, and Rav told Rav Kahana, then you may not take that 8 that the seller wants to give you. So that Rav paskin like that, we say Rav L'taimei, he's going according to this is understandable what he said over here in this case with the Kitna, because it accords with what Rav said in a different place. In this Gemora in Bava Metzia. Now Rashi's going to quote this Gemora. He's going to tell us one line and a half. Let's read this 1 line and a half too.
I'm not sure, it's not here that line, that Tane, for the reason of the Amarav. Or the reason of
I
Amarav,
made, yeah,
of Amarav is the Ezu Neshech Osim. What type of, so to speak, biting? It's like seeming like rivets. Oh, that's the name of the pasuk in Bava Metzia. Ezu
Yeah.
Nezek.
that's the name of the parak. Ezu Neshech.
Osim Amana, that he will be trusted. He will be trusted. He'll do a trust. Latain to give him the money of Hashar Shel Zol to give him the money on the cheaper value Shel Akshav of now, the current cheap value.
Right. So that seems to be the Rashi's definition of what this amana arrangement calls for. That the buyer is putting down money. He's not getting anything in his hand in return at the time that he puts down the money, but he's sealing in the deal that he's relying on and trusting that the seller is now, as a result of the money that he gave him, is going to now give him the kitna according to the shar shel zol, according to the low price that the kitna has shalak shav that it is right now.
Hello? Yes.
Okay, so that arrangement that Rav said that will work, that's capable of being done, that's permissible and legitimate. That Rav says is only in the area of peros. When you're buying a peros over here, doesn't just mean tomatoes. It means when you're buying a commodity. When you're buying a commodity, hey, what's a commodity? You know what a commodity is, right? A commodity as opposed to damim. Damim doesn't mean blood. Some people think it's blood, but what it means is money.
Yeah, it's the money instead of the object itself.
You can't
you're buying the book itself.
You can't. In other words, you cannot buy money on an agreement of amana, because that'll be a problem of ribbis. Let's see what the Rashi's going to explain us right now. Lou, you want to read? Lou,
To the
no?
The peros that he can make of peros, he's going to give peros. And the peros is the kabel pero bishar hayoker, in order to receive the produce at the more expensive price. The ein osim damim, the ein osim amuna the damim, but you don't make an arrangement of getting trust that you're going to get paid in money. Because when it comes to the time of it being more expensive, the kabel peroteva, to receive its produce, asuli tero, forbidden to give it to him, mocher damim, the seller of the failure to give the seller money, shel akshav, the money of now. The michse karibit, because this appears to be like giving him ribit, because the price has now gotten higher. The tevele that will give him tarte, he would give him 2 slung, but he received 4, because the prices have gone up. And he'd be getting more money, and that extra money he'd be receiving would be considered ribit.
Okay. Ein osin amona bedumin. Because Ishabah, I have a correction over here in the Rashi. It shouldn't read shar. Okay, Kishabol shas hayoker.
The time is more expensive.
When it arrives the time of the yoker, the kabel peros, in order to accept his peros, his commodities that he bought, also retain lo mocher. It's usher to give to the mocher damim shalakshav. He cannot give to the mocher the money of shalakshav, meaning the money that right now you would need to pay in order to buy those commodities. The Mexican ribis. That looks like ribis. Yohivle tarte slaim. He gave 2 slaim. Vishokel arba. And he's getting, what did he do? What did Rav Kahana do? He gave, the Gemora said before that okay, we'll use the numbers that Rashi says over here right now. Tati is 2 in Aramaic. He gives 2 sloim, gives 2 sloim. That's a type of coin. So he's putting down the money to buy the commodity right now, but he doesn't have the commodity in his hand. The seller doesn't have it right now. But that's what he's putting down right now to buy the commodity. But now later on, when it comes time the seller's gonna give him the commodity that he bought, shokil arba. What does it mean? He's gonna take 4. He's not getting back 4 sloyim. He was buying the peros. He was buying the commodity. But I think what it means is now, when that very commodity, which at the time that the money was given to him was worth 2 in the marketplace, and he put down 2. That now, when it's being supplied to the buyer, now it's the price went up. The market in the shuk went up on this commodity, and now to get that very same amount of commodity, sounds like terrible inflation, huh? It's now worth 4. So even if even in this case where he's just giving him the let's say he was buying widgets, right? So he gave 2 sloim for let's say for 10 widgets. Now 6 months later, when the widgets are being given out to those that bought them, they went up in price. And now the same amount of widgets is going to go for 4 in the shuk, but he is not giving any more money now. At 2 rather, but it looks like ribis because he's getting something which is worth 4 now. So it looks like he gave 2 and he's getting back 4. So it looks like ribis. So 1 second. So according to that, it would seem like so now we have to explain. So why is it permissible? It'll be permissible for Rav Kahana to take the money that was given according to the Shar Hayoker for the kitna that he made an arrangement of a mana for. Rav said in the event that the seller told the second buyer that this is kitna de kahana. So now it doesn't look like ribis anymore, like we said a few days ago, because now the seller is just selling Rev Kahana's kitna as an agent, and so it's not the seller who's giving him the four. It's the second buyer that's giving him the four. And that's and like that, it doesn't look like ribis. But if the seller did not tell the second buyer that this is kitna de kahana, so then it looks like the seller is selling the item to the guy. And now when the seller gives back Rev Kahana the 8, so that's tantamount to that's what we're saying over here, that it looks like ribis. He gave 2 and he's getting back 4. So that's the explanation that the Gemora is giving over here for the ruling of the ruling of Rav. But I just call your attention to Rav said that you could do an amana beperos. You just can't do an amana with dumim. So what does it mean exactly to do an amana with peros? That Rashi was explaining over there. It's permissible for a person to give money to the seller on trust and reliance. So we call it an amana. He doesn't actually, he's not actually buying anything at that point, right? Because it's not there to buy. And then Wilifsokimo, and he's making a psak with him. In other words, he's sealing a deal over here. She'itain lo es peros la'achosman. He's going to give him the peros that he wants to purchase. Lefi hashar hazol shel akshav. According to the cheap rate that it is right now at the time that the money's been given over. Even if the shar goes up, only if he gives him at the end of the day, gives him back the peros. Oh. Right?
No, he made an agreement to give him peros. That it's a sense of sale of peros. And whether he uses it now or later, he's just giving him the peros. So it doesn't matter if it went up or didn't go in price. I'll give you from peros. I'm giving you so much, 3 how much it's cost. I've made additional, I'm going to give you 3 peros. It's worth so much now, it's worth so much later. I'm giving you the peros. That's you're allowed to do.
Right.
But I'm not allowed to do it in terms of money because the money could change. The value of the exchange rate can change along the way. And then it's ribis if the price appreciated.
The difference is that in the case that Rav answered, the seller was not giving Rav Kahana any kitna. He was giving him money.
A promise. If he gives him promise of giving him kitna, that's okay if he gives him the kitna. He can't say, I'm giving you the value of the kitna, because the value of the kitna could change, and that would be ribis.
He can give him the kitna itself, even though the kitna is now worth 8. That's a proper amana. That's what Rav allowed, and like that, it would be okay. Except that over here, the seller wanted to give back to Rav Kahana damim. So that you can't do amana with damim. But Rav made a pendo. Rav said, but even in the case where he wants to give you back money, it would have been permissible, says Rav, if the seller told the buyer, the second buyer, that he's selling him kitna de kahana, because like that he's simply acting as an agent of Rav Kahana, and the money is going directly from the second buyer to Rav Kahana. That case was the case that Rav said was permissible, because then it's not really giving him the money back. It's the buyer who's buying the kitna according to the shar that it is right now. So that's basically the story of that's the same. That would be the same thing as if the seller on week number one, the shar and the shuk is you get 10 widgets for 10 shekel, and so he sells it for 10 shekel. But then a month later, goes up in price, and so he sells it for another price. That's not ribis that he charges the price of what it is worth now. That's business. So if so in that case, then it would have been permissible for the seller to give all the money, so to speak, the profit to Rav Kahana, because it's not a payback from the one who received the money from Rav Kahana. It's not coming from the seller. It's really coming from the buyer, the second buyer.
Can the seller actually do that? Because if Mashiach actually done, then it's still not Rav Kahana's.
Oh, so Rav is bringing up a very nice point. The way that we're explaining now what happened over here, that Rav Kahana didn't make a Mashiach, so it's not Gezel, right? You understand that?
Mhm.
Right? It's not really the kitna de Kahana. It's not really the kitna that belongs to Kahana. What does the seller mean when he what did Rav mean that look, the seller had to tell the buyers that it was kitna de Kahana, that it was your kitna? Doesn't mean to say that Rav Kahana actually owned that kitna, but it was he didn't formally own it, so therefore it wasn't it didn't involve a matter of gezel, but so therefore it was permissible for the seller to deal with that kitna, because it didn't belong to Rav Kahana. Technically speaking, it did not belong to him. But he needed to tell the second buyers that it's kitna de Kahana, in the sense that this is the kitna that I, according to the agreement of the Amona, the trust and reliance agreement that we entered into, I would be required to give if Rav Kahana showed up today, I would be required to give it to him, even though he doesn't own this kitna right now. So there's no gezel, but it's called kitna de Kahana because the buyer would be required to honor the agreement if Rav Kahana came to claim the kitna, that he would give him the kitna for the low price. Rav Kahana wouldn't need to give him any extra money in view of the fact that now the Shara Shuk has gone through the roof, and now it's this kitna, very same kitna that he bought, that he wanted to purchase for 4, is now really worth 8. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
Um,
in other words, if Rav Kahana would have shown up and say, "Give me the kitna," so really, really the seller would have been required to give him kitna for that price, for that original price. He would have been required to do that. Okay, but the seller is saying to Rav Kahana, "Look, I've got I sold that kitna that I would have given to you, and here I've got 8, so you can take the 8. You want to take the 8? You could do either one. I'll give you either one, really. I'll give you the kitna if you want it, or I'll give you the 8, because that's the money that they gave for your kitna. So you can take either one."
if he takes a kitna, he gets back what? The twice what he gave, what he originally bought, or the original amount that he bought.
He's gonna get. Okay, let's be very exacting. Let's say Rav Kahana bought 10 kilos of kitna,
Right.
and the agreed upon price was according to the Shar Hashuk at that time that he made the agreement, and 10 kilos of kitna at that time was worth you'd have to pay four sloim for it. Okay, so now next month or 6 months after, however long it is, the Shara Shuk for Kitna goes double. The price is double now. To buy that amount of Kitna, you'd have to pay 8. So in the meantime, Rav Kahana didn't come back to get his Kitna. He didn't come to claim his Kitna, and the seller said, look, there's this guy over here. He wants to buy this 10 kilos of kitna, and he's willing to give 8 for it because that's the Shara Shuk for it right now. So he gives him the 8, and he gives him the kitna, but it's not gezo in that case because Rav Kahana didn't own that kitna. There was just a trust reliance agreement that if Rav Kahana is going to show up and demand his kitna, so then the seller would be required to give him 10 kilos of kitna, even though at that point it's worth double the price. It's worth 8 seller. He would be required to give to Rav Kahana that 10 kilos of kitna, and it wouldn't be ribis. But in the meantime, he sold it. And now he's saying to Rav Kahana, look, I sold it and I have the 8. Would you like to take the 8? So Rav Kahana went to Rav. He said, look, it depends. Can you take the 8? If he identified the seller to the buyer that it was really your kitna under this trust reliance agreement, but he's selling it. But since Rav Kahana didn't own it, he's willing to sell it to him. He's willing to sell him that. So then the buyers are really giving their 8 seller to Rav Kahana. So it's like Rav Kahana bought it and then he sold it for a profit 6 months later at 8. So he's giving him so like that. The seller is simply acting as an agent for Rav Kahana. And so it's like Rav Kahana doing the sale to the second party. So there's no issue of ribis in that situation. The money is going from the buyer number 2 to buyer number 1. But if in the absence of the seller telling him that this is kitna de kahana, so then Rav said, then you cannot take it because then it looks like ribis. Because then it looks like the second buyer is giving the money to the seller to acquire that 8, and now the seller is saying, here, Rav Kahana, I'm giving you this 8 now it looks like Rav Kahana gave 4 and he's getting back 8. That looks like ribis. Okay. Yashikoyek, everyone. We finished up to the Mishnah. A round of applause. Okay.
Right.
Shabbat shalom to Phil.
Not sure what my status is the next couple of days, Sunday, Monday, because it's my wife's yard site. And
Really? Wow.
Busy with,
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
busy with the family Sunday. We're going to the kever, and I'm not sure what time I'm going to get back with that. And then Monday also family still around came in for that. So I don't know when I'm going to be around this week a lot. I will try my best to get in if I'm not, or you're on the road or something. I'll see. I can't guarantee though, so don't worry.
Oh, what's your wife's name so we could have her in mind for Ili Neshama on Sunday?
Abigail Freda Bat Mordechai.
Abigail Freda Bas Mordechai. Okay. Okay, very good. All the
Okay.
best, Bill.
Okay, thanks. Shabbat
Be
shalom.
well, Phil.
Shabbat shalom and
Wish you
aliyah.
a long life.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Rabbi. I'll see you
Okay.
tomorrow at 10:30-ish.
Bezrat ish.
Yes.
Ah,
Yeah. All right.
okay.
Okay. Thank you. All right.
Ish it is.
Right. See you, Alan.
Okay. Bye.
Bye,
Thank
Alan.
thank you, Roy.
It worked all right, did it then?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
Right.
Baruch Hashem.
Both
Got
ways.
the right link.
Yeah. Well, I tried both when we had last time.
Oh, good.
So,
And now you're off to get the right hearing aids. Bezrat Hashem.
right.
Okay. Hatzlacha Rabbah.
Thank you. Okay. Have a
It all
good
go well.
afternoon.
Bye.
Okay.